Welcome to today's video. I have a really fun video for you today. I really enjoyed filming this one. We are creating this look. It's a really classic, clean, polished makeup look that doesn't look overdone. It's really warm and beautiful for the summer. I'm playing with some like classic Holy Grail products that I've used and loved for many years, but I'm also playing with a couple of new releases as well. So this video is really just to sit down. I'm real chatty. I'm sharing tons of tips and tricks with you guys, so I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get started. So to kick it off, we're gonna start with the Chanel Water Fresh Tint. I am really excited to share this product with you. I think I'm the last person on the planet to try this product. Chanel honestly isn't a brand that I've really dove headfirst into yet. I purchased this a couple weeks ago from Nordstrom. In fact, all of the products that we're gonna be using today are available at Nordstrom. So I'm gonna link them all to Nordstrom. I do wanna thank Nordstrom for sponsoring this video. So I'm gonna do 2 pumps of this. And what this is it's a very hydrating, lightweight serum with pigment beads in it. And it offers a good, very, very, very light sheer coverage. I even hesitate to say the word coverage because what it really does is it gives the skin a lot of glow with a little bit of pigment. So I've really been enjoying using this product like when I'm heading out to the gym and I just want to even out my skin tone, but I don't want makeup on my face. I've also been using this as a kind of pre-foundation product. So if I want a little extra coverage, I'll put this on and then I'll wear like a foundation that has more lighter to maybe medium coverage. And it's just really fun to kind of mix into your foundations and give yourself a little bit of a glow and a little bit of a tint. And I actually just love to apply it with my fingers. I feel like that really helps blend the serum and the pigment beads together so you get a nice, even, consistent. And I will apply it all over the face, underneath the eyes. Just make sure you really, really blend that in. Okay, now I'm gonna let that kind of dry. When you apply this product, it does feel wet. Let it kind of set for a couple minutes before you go in with a foundation if you wear one on top of it. If you apply a powder foundation, this actually pairs really nicely with a powder foundation, and you can apply it when it's still a little tacky and wet. If you're applying a liquid, give it a few minutes to set just so that when you go in and blend out a foundation with your brush, it doesn't disrupt or move that product around. We're gonna be using the Armani Luminous Silk foundation today, and because I applied this product, I'm really just gonna use a small amount of this. We're not gonna apply a lot of it. I mean, what's there to say about this that you haven't already heard? This is such a lovely foundation, and I think it's really beautiful for all skin types. As a former makeup artist, this would be the type of foundation that I would pack in my kit because it's so versatile. It works with oily skin types, it works with dry skin types, it works with mature skin types. It gives a natural radiance to the skin, but it's not shiny or greasy looking. It wears beautiful all day. It's just really, really lovely. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna start in the center of my face, and I don't have a lot of product on the brush, just a little bit. I'm just gonna bounce it on the skin just to give a little bit of extra coverage. I'm gonna link all my shades in the description box, by the way, but so I don't forget, this is shade 5.75. I find that the shades are pretty flexible, so I can even wear a 4.5. I can kind of wear anything in between that range. Oh, it's just lovely. So pretty. I got a facial on Friday, and I tried a new esthetician, one that my friend Nazreen uses because my friend Nazreen's skin is like perfect. And I don't know what she put on my skin, but my skin still feels like tight. My pores look smaller, glowing, glowing, glowing. Whatever she did, I'm like, I need to do this at least once a month. Oh, this just looks so pretty and so natural, you guys, so natural. On the forehead, I don't need a lot of coverage. So what you'll notice is I'm moving and sweeping in much larger brush strokes. If you notice on the center of the face, I was pressing, I was trying to build up coverage, but because I really don't need to cover anything on my forehead really doesn't have any visible blemishes, I just need to even it out. I'm just doing large sweeping motions. So this is keeping the forehead really light and really sheer, and I'm gonna continue that on the jawline. That way we like diminish the chances of having any, foundation lines, although both of these shades are just a perfect match. I'm not really worried about that. So for concealer, I grabbed a formula that I think falls into the same category as the Armani, just one of those formulas that is just perfect on almost everybody and loved by all. It's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm gonna use the shade Custard. And then I always like to do a little bit right here on the outer part of the eye and kind of pull it up. This is going to give a little bit of an eye lift. Another trick you can do is after you've applied your eyeshadow, you can go back and apply this concealer in a similar way to lift the eye and also clean up any mistakes with the eyeshadow. Just give a really clean line. Okay, and then we're gonna go in and blend this out. First, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush and kind of spread the product. That way I get coverage all underneath the eye, because remember, I only applied it in the inner corner and the outer corner. Now I've spread that all under the eye. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm going to just press to build up that coverage and blend it out. And I'm not gonna do this eye entirely. I'm gonna do it till it's about 90%, and then we're gonna go ahead and move over here and do that same technique before this concealer has time to set. So I've spread it, and then I'm gonna go and blend it to about 90%. So what we're doing now is, while we're blending this out, this is having time to kind of self-set a little bit, which is gonna result in a little bit more coverage. You're kind of allowing that concealer to dry down a little bit so you'll get more coverage, but remember, you need to blend it out till it's at least like 85, 90%. That way it doesn't dry down and then you have trouble blending out the edges. What I love about makeup is, yes, the products are important, the tools are important, but even just kind of knowing little tweaks on how to apply products can give you a completely different result. You know, you could have two people, they're using the same products, they're using the same brushes, but their application technique will be different and their look can be completely different. So really, really pay attention to how you're applying your product, how much of your product you're using, how much time you're taking to blend out. I need all new makeup. Sometimes it's just like, let me change the way I apply. Let me try applying a little less this time, or a little more. My rule is to start with less and build more if you need it, but I find that we can wear a lot of products and layer a lot of makeup, because I love makeup, I wear a lot of it, but I like to apply it in little bitty layers, meaning I might have 20 products on my face, but I don't want the layers of that makeup to be heavy or too much. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. All right, the skin and complexion is pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and do the brows and give that a little bit of time to kind of self-set, and then we'll go in with powder and bronzer. So for brows, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift. I wear the shade medium brown, and I am going to start at the front of my brow here. And you know, brows are very personal. We all have very different brow shapes. So really, depending on where you're starting from will determine kind of the best brow products. For me, my brows are okay, but my hairs are a little sparse. My brows don't really grow. And so what I need to do is I need to create shape, but I also need to create volume. I love this type of brow pencil, the ones that are a little thicker and waxier, because they kind of make brows a little easier. When you're working with really fine brow pencils, those are nice too, and you can create really nice hair-like strokes, but they take a little more time. I feel like the skill needed is slightly more elevated than like using a product like this. This is very easy to use and it's very quick. And because this has a waxy formula, it's gonna slightly hold the brow hairs in place, but not entirely. I still use a brow gel. I don't rely on this entirely. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating my shape with this. And I always like to start at the bulk of the brow, and I have very, very light pressure. I don't want these brows to like weigh my eyes down or look too harsh. I want very, very light pressure. And I'll just softly sketch. What I like about this particular pencil is it is nice and creamy and it has great pigment, so you don't have to apply a lot of pressure. It's really, really nice. Okay, lovely. And then I'm gonna take the spoolie and just run it over it, just to soften it slightly before I go in with brow gel. Okay, I'm gonna take the Jane Iredale brow gel, and this is the shade Ash Blonde. And this is slightly lighter than the pencil, so it's gonna kind of soften that a little bit. It's gonna give a little bit of volume to the brow, so it looks like my brows are natural, more full. Using a fibrous brow gel on top of a pencil like this not only helps kind of soften the brow, but it gives a more realistic look to it because it adds some volume to the brow hairs. So now let's go ahead and set with powder. And for powder, you guys, I'm excited because this is a new product, somewhat new. This is the airbrush, the Vanish airbrush powder from Hourglass. It's translucent and it has a little puff in here and then your powder in here. I bought this, I don't know, maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and this has been the powder that I've been keeping in my purse. So ideally, I love to apply everything with the brush, of course, but if I'm packing a small purse, what I like about this is it's very, very thin. Do you see how thin this is? It doesn't take a lot of space. Even though it's kind of large in size, it's very thin, and you have a little puff in here so you can touch up on the go without needing a brush. Now I am gonna use a small, kind of fluffy, precise powder brush, and we're just going to set really in the center of the face underneath the eyes. I want to keep that glow, but I also want to set any areas that tend to crease or move, which for me is concealer, and around my nose, around my mouth, and on my forehead can just get real shiny. So even though this powder is translucent, it does come in several shades, which is nice. Tiny bit of pigment, but really lightweight. For touch-up powders, I love to have a translucent powder in my bag versus a powder that's pigmented because, you know, on days where I might touch up maybe 2 or 3 times, which is kind of excessive for me. I really rarely touch up more than 3 times. I would say once or twice is my norm. But in the summertime, or depending if I have meetings or I'm, you know, going to be in front of a lot of people and I care a little bit more about how my makeup looks all day, then I'll touch up maybe up to 3 times. And if you use a powder that's really heavily pigmented, it's like just adding that layer and layer of makeup on top of makeup, and it just can look heavy throughout the day. So I like to stick with translucent powders. Now to sculpt the face and give some dimension, I'm picking up a product that is another product that I feel is like a cult classic product. It was the first product that I bought from Charlotte Tilbury. It is their Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I have the shade Fair Medium. You have a little bronzer contour shade here, and then you have a little highlight shade here. These are both powder formulas. Now I'm gonna go in with a powder brush that's not super large, but it's very fluffy and soft. So this is gonna give me a lot of control over where I apply it, but it's also it's soft and fluffy, so it's gonna blend it out beautifully. And I'll also have some control over how much I apply. And I'm gonna go straight into this color. Now this color is definitely more on the cooler side in terms of a bronzer, but I do think that it can work as a bronzer. It's not just a contour shade. And I just like to press my brush into the skin versus sweeping back and forth. Doing this is just allowing you to really get the product off the brush onto the skin. If you feel like you need to go back and blend more, then you can use the tip to do so, but this brush is actually kind of perfect. It really doesn't require a whole lot of blending out. And then I always like to sweep my bronzer into my hairline just to give a real natural kind of seamless look. That way it doesn't look like you just have bronzer here. It really looks more like you got a golden glow from the sun. These powder formulas are nice. They have the slightest sheen to them. So they're not pearlescent or shimmery, but that slight sheen is just gonna give a more natural look to the skin. So pretty. All right, how even are we? I feel like we're a little more heavy here. Let's go back and even things out. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm even gonna take a little bit of this and kind of just sweep it on the side of my nose. Again, the point here is just giving that natural sun-kissed glow. So it looks like it's really cohesive tan. Beautiful. Oh, so good. Okay, you guys, loving where this is going. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to blush. Now, I have a couple of products that we're gonna apply on the cheeks today, and I'm excited about both of them. They both are pretty new products. We're going to use the Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint, and I picked up the shade 62, and then we're gonna use the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer, and I have the shade Peachy. These are beautiful. I've been playing with these for a little while. These honestly could work as a blush too, but I really wanted to incorporate both of these into this look. So I haven't yet played with this. I just pulled it out of the box today. So saying that, I don't know how this is gonna apply. I don't know if this is gonna be really pigmented, very sheer. I believe it's a sheer product. It says it's a tint, so my assumption is that it's gonna be sheer, but I don't know. So because I don't know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply it to the back of my hand. And honestly, I kind of like to apply liquid blushes like this anyway, but if it is a liquid blush that I'm really comfortable with and I know I can blend it out easily, then I'll go directly to the cheek. But I'm gonna apply it to the back of my hand. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is gonna give me a lot of control. If I apply it to my face and then I find out that, oh no, this product dries really quickly and I didn't have time to blend it out, then I'm left with splotches. So always apply it to the back of your hand first and kind of pre-blend it and work it into the brush. Okay, I can already tell you that this consistency is so nice. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay. I'm excited. Let's apply this to the cheek. So I'm gonna start here and I'm actually gonna apply it on the high point of the apple of my cheek. I'm really trying to be good about keeping my blush higher placed. It is just ingrained in me. I am like pre-programmed to put it here and go like this, but I really need to update my blush application because, I'm getting a little bit older and, we need to change the application. Just like I said earlier, application is key. So I'm gonna apply it right there and I'm gonna apply it upward. So the placement is really the top of the apple of the cheek and then kind of working up here into my temple. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. Okay, this is so So good. Okay, wow, lovely. I will say this about liquid blushes. Not to say that I don't love them, that's not true, but I find that many of them are really, really pigmented or really, really sheer. And this is right in the middle of the road. This has good pigment to it, but it's not too much. There's another brand, I will keep it nameless for this video, but they are so pigmented that I find them really difficult to work with. Okay, this is so beautiful, you guys. This is blending out like a dream. It is stunning, it is consistent, it is gorgeous. Okay, I love, 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 love. Okay, this is going to the top of the list in terms of products from this video that you must pick up. I'm gonna definitely order this in other colors. Not even kidding, this is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I love that. Okay, yay. Now, do I even want to put something on top of this? I kind of do because I want to show you guys, but I'm going to go in with the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer. And this has a doe foot wand applicator. And this is like a luminizer that has some color to it. So they come in different shades. There's like a pinky one. There's like a more champagne color. This is champagne, but it's a little more peachy and warm. And I'm gonna be very, very light with this because I don't wanna cover this blush up. This blush is so good. I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm just gonna use the tip of the brush. I'm not digging the whole face of the brush in here. I'm just using the tip, you guys. And we're gonna really just concentrate that right here on the high points, almost where the end of the brow is and right there on the cheekbone. So we're really like concentrating it right in this area. Give some light to the skin. Ooh, this is pretty. Okay, you know what else I want to do? I'm going to take another brush. This is a really small precision powder brush. And we're going to dig right in here and we're going to sweep this underneath the brows just to give a little bit of light. I gotta grab a little more. Just put it right underneath the brow, give a little bit of light. You can mix these with foundations if you want to. Just be careful that if you do, choose the right shade because if you're very fair and you mix this with foundation, it's gonna deepen your foundation shade. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this on the tip of the nose. So pretty. And then a little bit on the chin. Okay, that's really, really beautiful. Okay, for eyes, I am challenging myself to do an entire look with cream shadow sticks. There are a few new cream shadow sticks that have launched recently and we're gonna play with them. So we know that the Jane Iredale cream shadow sticks just recently launched this month. So I've got a bunch of colors here. We're gonna pick one or two to incorporate. But NARS also just released a cream shadow stick and I have two shades. I've worn one, I wore one this weekend. I wore Adults Only. It's a really pretty matte, peachy, super creamy texture, you guys. This is really, really, it's hard to see. The light is so reflective, and it's kind of the color of my skin tone, but this one's really nice. And then I also got the shade Don't Touch, which is a more cooler tone, slightly kind of rosy nude shade. It's more nude, but do you see how it's turning a little pink on me? It's more cool tone. So I picked up those two from NARS. And let's see what we're gonna incorporate with the Jane Iredale Color Luxe Shadow Sticks. We're gonna use Gatsby from Jane Iredale. And we're gonna use Adults Only from NARS, okay? So we've got a shimmery one from Jane Iredale, and it's like a warm peachy shimmer, golden shimmer. And then we've got a matte peachy shade from NARS. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna take the NARS and we're gonna apply this all over from the lid and blend it up into the crease. You guys know I love a good cream shadow stick. It is one of my favorite types of products. Why, you ask? Well, let me tell you. So what I love about these products is they're just so easy to apply. I mean, half the time I use cream shadow sticks, I don't even use brushes, you guys. And that's saying a lot, hello. So I just use my finger and I'm just gonna blend this out and shear it out, kind of blend it up into the crease. There are like just the lazy girl's best makeup product. If you find a good cream shadow stick formula, it should be creamy in texture, so it's very easy to blend. But then once it sets, it should dry and stay in place without creasing. You can use them as eyeliners. I just love them for so many reasons. Just make sure you always close it tight. This one's not, oh no, it is closed. Okay, make sure you close them tight because that is the one thing about cream shadow sticks is they will dry out if you don't get that lid completely sealed. I travel, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've been traveling more recently and I love to pack them because they take up absolutely no space. And they're just really, really nice and easy to work with. Okay, so I've got that all over the lid. That is the NARS shade in Adults Only. Then I'm gonna go in with the Jane Iredale, the shade, this is the shade Gatsby. And this is a really beautiful shimmery gold. And we're gonna apply this on the center of the lid and kind of work it in towards the inner corner of the eye. So we're just applying it directly on top, but really focusing that on the inner corner and the center of the lid. just to give a little bit of a highlight and a little dimension to the eye. Okay, and I'm also gonna take the same shade and we're gonna pop it right here in the inner corner on the bottom of the lash line, just to give a little bit of brightness. And you know what, let's go ahead and pull it over a little bit. So inner corner, and then I would say about 1/4 of the way out on the lower lash line. Okay, let's take a look. How are we looking? Okay. We're looking good, very clean, light. I wanna add a tiny bit in the outer corner just to give some dimension to this look. So we're gonna stick with my challenge of sticking with cream shadow sticks. Okay, let's go in with the Jane Iredale shade Dove Gray. This will be interesting because this is definitely more cooler tone. We've got a pretty warm look going on, but I think it's actually gonna tie nicely to my romper color. I've got this like army green romper on and I think it'll kind of tie in nicely. So I'm just gonna pull a little bit here and then do a little bit there. So I've created like a little V almost. It's a messy V, it's not cute, but it's there, right? I love that these are creamy enough that it gives me time to go in and blend it out with a brush. But do so quickly, you guys, because like I said, once these products set, they don't budge, they stay in place, which is what we want. But if you take too long to blend it out, then you're stuck and you're not able to get a really pretty blend. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so that's really good. That gives a really soft bit of contour to the eye, but it's not contrasting too much. I was a little worried that these colors weren't gonna go together, but they actually look really nice together. Okay, so I'm gonna apply a little bit more on that side, and I'll probably go back and apply a little more on the other side too. All right, let's just work this. And I'm just taking a fluffy crease brush and just going back and forth, just right on top of where I applied the product, because I don't wanna spread that product and move it too far over in the crease. I just wanna blend out the edges of where I applied it. Perfect, lovely, okay. All right, now we need to add a little more to this side. We're a little lopsided. I also love these because like I said, they're just so easy. So whether you are just getting started in makeup or you are someone with a ton of experience in makeup, you can use them. It's not like a pro product, it's not difficult to use. Oh my God, this combination is actually lovely. I love that, so good. Okay, so I've decided I wanna add a little bit of shadow or powder onto the eye. I'm gonna take the highlight shade from the Charlotte Tilbury palette, and we're just gonna pop that right in the inner corner. It's gonna slightly brighten that area up a bit. Perfect, okay, we are good. Nice, soft, neutral eye, a little bit of warmth, a little bit of a cool tone. For a liner, we're gonna go in and use these new products from Bobbi Brown. I've been wanting to play with these forever. These are the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Liner Sticks. And I'm excited to try these. They are an eyeliner, but they're kind of a chubby line. Do you see how big that is? Kind of big for an eyeliner. It's like almost like a hybrid between an eyeliner and a shadow stick. Let's see what color we want to use. I think this color is going to be best. This is the shade Jungle. Ooh, okay, this is actually like almost the exact same shade as my romper, so let's use this. I'm going to lay it on its side, and I'm going to really concentrate and keep that right here on the outer half of my eyelid. Okay, a nice precise tip, even though it's more on the chubby side. Before I go and do the other side, I'm going to take a little tiny angled brush and we are going to wing this out. Okay, lovely. Let's go to the other side. These are nice, very pigmented. They're coming onto the eye and the skin really easily, and you have time to blend it out before it sets. Actually, Bobbi Brown sent these to me a while back. I don't remember them having like a bronze shade in here, so I need to go and see what other shades. This shade is nice though. It's like a kind of army green, but not too green. That's really, really beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and put a little bit on the lower lash line too. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna keep it, you know, kind of in the outer third. Close it tight. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna blend that out before it dries. That's pretty. I have to say, I'm loving the eye makeup. It's really soft, but beautiful. Okay, let's get to lashes. The Dior Maximizer Lash Primer. It just doesn't get better. It just doesn't, I'm sorry. The day that I get up here and say that I found a better lash primer, you guys, will be the day that, I don't know, what do I say after that? I just love this lash primer so much. It's just my favorite. You know, not to say there aren't other great ones out there. There are other great ones out there that I use, but I just think that this is the best. If I had to recommend one, it would be this one. I love it. This has ingredients in it that are gonna help condition your lashes over time. So using this every day is gonna actually improve the appearance of your lashes over time. And I like that it's just not heavy. You know, some of them you'll use and it's just so heavy. If you use a lash primer that's really heavy and you put on the lashes and you see tons of product, it's going to interfere with your ability to separate the lashes when you go and apply mascara. So you want a lash primer that's kind of lightweight, but that still gives dramatic results. And I really feel like this does. The mascara that I'm using is the Clinique High Impact Mascara. This is such an underrated mascara. It really is. Clinique needs some love, you guys. I am here to kind of highlight the brands that maybe don't get a ton of attention on other accounts. It's just a classic legacy brand, and they've got some really beautiful formulas. This mascara is one of them. I love that it gives length and volume, but also separates. It gives a really beautiful fanned out lash look. When I am like thinking and dreaming, sounds a little dramatic, of my perfect lash look, it's gonna be this. It's gonna have lots of length, lots of volume, and the lashes will be spread out and fanned out. It's gonna look dramatic, but it's not gonna look crunchy, like you could go and crunch the lashes in half. That's not cute. And you can get dramatic lashes without having that harsh, heavy look. This mascara is one of them. Also the Bobbi Brown Smoky Lash Mascara, that is another one. That's actually my like all-time favorite, but this one's right there underneath it. So good. And I also like that this formula doesn't dry out. It's a really beautiful formula that you can get a lot of use out of. Some mascaras will dry more quickly, and I feel like you're replacing them a lot more frequently than other formulas. So what I like to do is I like to go and build a lash, and then I'll come back to the first lash and add a little bit more. I kind of take it as far as I can take it. All right, and then I'm gonna do a little coat on the lower, not much, just a tiny bit. Okay, we are almost done, you guys. I'm excited. Okay, we're gonna move on to lips, you guys. I'm removing my lip balm. And for lips, we're gonna line the lips with this Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Mocha. Let's see, let's swatch this. Oh, this is pretty. It's just a nice, pretty, kind of spicy shade. I'm gonna lay it on its side and line the lips, and I'm gonna fill in the lips a little bit with this. Really complements that warm tones that we have in the eyes. Okay, I don't know that I've used Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liners before. Really nice. It's a traditional lip pencil in the sense that it's wooden, you sharpen it. It's very creamy. It's really nice, you guys, beautiful. Okay, that's good. We have a nice shape. We filled in most of the lip. We left the center, very center part bare. Okay, I have these here, and we're gonna give these a try. These are the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvet. I have the shade Softy and the shade Pink Sand. In the packaging, they look very, very similar, but I'm assuming they're gonna have a little variety here. Let's watch these. Okay, so these are a moussey, velvety texture. All right, they're super pigmented. Pink Sand and then Softy. I think I'm gonna go with Pink Sand because it's a little bit lighter. Now, this texture, you guys, is super pigmented and very rich, not glossy, which is from what I prefer and what I use and love. So let's give this a try. Okay, here we go, Pink Sand. I'm gonna kind of wipe off the tip because I don't wanna apply too much of this. And we are going to just do a nice little, okay, just a little bit. All you need is a little bit, you guys. Kind of blend here. Okay, that is really nice. I will say that the lines and texture on my lips like instantly blurred out. I mean, this product really smoothed and kind of gave me a soft airbrush finish to my lips. It looks pretty good, you guys. Actually, it looks really good. I was a little hesitant for this product because it's a heavier product, and especially for summer, I like to keep the lips a little light and glossy. But the key is using a very small amount. I did not use much. You should never have to replenish this unless you just love it and you wear it all the time. But I could never see myself using this full tube because you need the tiniest amount. It's actually pretty stunning, you guys. It's actually pretty gorgeous. Now, you do have the option to add a gloss on top of it if you want. I'm not going to, though. I'm gonna just embrace this matte moment on the lips because I really kind of love the way that it looks. I really, really do. So the makeup is all done, but there's one last step, and I'm trying to be really good about doing this every day, especially in the summer here in Texas. I'm gonna set everything with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. That way this makeup, it looks great now. I want this to look great in 8 hours and 10 hours, and this is the secret key. So and I'm applying quite a bit. Depending on the foundation that you use, if you use a really matte foundation, you can apply a little bit more of this, and it's just gonna help kind of set that foundation a little quicker and give it a really natural finish more quickly. If you use a really luminous foundation, you can still do a few sprays, but what I like to do is I like to do a couple and kind of let it dry for a second, and then I'll do one more layer rather than putting a whole lot at once. But I love it. Makeup is done. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little chatty, a little long, but I really enjoyed sitting down and just filming with you guys and chatting with you. So I hope you learned something. If you picked up any tips from this or you are gonna try any of the products that I talked about, let me know in the comment section below what you're gonna pick up. Or on the other side of that, if you own any of these, let us know your opinion on these products too down below. I encourage you guys to read the comments, communicate back and forth with each other, ask questions down there to each other, and really get the feedback of a whole entire community more so than just myself. I think that's always super helpful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to link another one right here for you you can check out next. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.